got time for Q&A, but I'm happy to take any questions, or if you want to close it off, I'll take questions later. It's up to you, Aya.
I would love to.
Okay, well, let me open it up.
If you're okay.
I'll open it up. Who has the first question? Yeah, I think Kenneth by a fraction.
Can you describe your program and how long is it?
Yeah, Dale Carnegie.
Okay. The question was, what's our program, how long is it? It's the Dale Carnegie course, which is basically we teach all of these 30 principles about human relations and the 30 stress management principles. And it has basically a number of focuses. One is confidence, building confidence. Now often when people hear that, they think, I don't need that bit, I'm already confident. What we're talking about there is going out of your comfort zone, going out of your area of existing competence, out of your current area of expertise to take on something you're not automatically good at, taking a risk of doing something new, and having the confidence to do that. So over this 12 weeks of the course, you're given things to do which gradually, incrementally build that ability to step out of your comfort zone to take on bigger responsibilities and more opportunity to grow in your profession. That's one of them. The other is obviously communication. So how to be clear, concise, not rambling. How to get to the point in a way that really resonates. How to be persuasive with people. How to get on their wavelength when you talk to them. Another one is people skills. How to recognize that everyone's different. I have a certain personality style, someone's got a different style. Some people are very micro-focused, others are very macro-focused. Some people are very speedy, other people like to be very cautious. So the way we interact with people should be different, but most of us have our preferred style, and that's how we play all the time. We don't interact with others in a way that really suits the way they like to be interacted with. So, we have leadership as well, and the leadership we're talking about here is not the leadership of, hey, I'm the president, I'm the founder, I'm the boss, you're getting paid, do what I say or else. Right? It's not that type of leadership. It's a leadership of having the ability to work with people, to build up those skills and trust with people, and the credibility with people that they will want to come with you themselves, that arouse an eager want. Working with people, listening sincerely and genuinely with people, doing what's important with people, all of those things we talk about, so that it's willing cooperation they're giving you. They go the extra mile without you asking because they want to do it. They understand the why because you've told them the why. So those are the 5 things we work on. And the other one, or the last one, the 5th one, is stress management. And this is often in the graduation ceremony when people are talking about what they've gotten out of the course. I'd say about 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people would say, the thing I got most out of this course over these 12 weeks was stress management. I was suffering, I was struggling, I was not productive because I was stressed all the time. But this course gave me the keys to self-manage my stress, and boy, did that change my productivity. I am so much better and more effective now than I was before this course. About 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people mentioned that. So it has all of those elements. It's a bit of an omnibus course in a way that suits a number of different needs in people. It's particularly useful for people who are leading others. They go from a position of autonomy about doing just what they need to do to now being responsible for other people and having to communicate with others. So we find a lot of new managers are in our courses. We find a lot of HR people are in our courses. We find a lot of IT people are in our courses because their companies are sick of them not being able to communicate with colleagues, not being able to communicate with the clients, living in their own tiny little world with their own jargon, their own language, and basically, not liking people. So often they say, look, we want these people in the course so they can change that. We need them to be partners, we need them to be effective with other people, colleagues and clients, and have a bigger world. So that tends to be the things that people find works very well with them. And the beauty of the 12 weeks is you've got homework, so you've got things you want to use, be it stress management or human relations principles, to practice between this week and 2 or 3 weeks down the track. So you commit, I will, with this person, I will take these principles and use them, and then over a couple of weeks you use them and come back and report what happened. So you read through the textbooks, how to win friends, influence people, how to stop writing and start living, effective speaking over the course of that 12 weeks. and you get lots and lots of practice in the course and lots of coaching. And it's a tremendously safe environment because, we're using a different model here to what Vincent was talking about before. So there's no critique. You don't feel threatened. You don't feel exposed. You can come out of your shell a little bit if you're a shy person. If you're not a confident person, introvert, you can come out of your shell and then take on more risk and grow during the course. And this is what you see, particularly about your colleagues.
So it sounds great. It's better than couples therapy.
Yeah, so, William.
Yeah,
And I'm going to come back to you, Nils, because I saw you had your question, please.
so I guess goes back to a comment that was made a while ago about there's that sort of intermittent period after you sort of have taken everything and where you're kind of like learning to apply it. And I think a lot of people can sometimes can even potentially like fail there in that like they just, as much as they like went through the program, it's like hard to actually apply these things because, you're just kind of like absorbing everything all at once, and then, when it comes down to like, the moment that it's actually applicable, you're just like, okay, and then, you can overthink it or whatever. Like I've read over 20 self-help books in the past year, and I've got, I think 5 or 6 Dale Carnegie books that haven't really even made it through yet. And, I would love to, be a part of it, but at the same time, okay, so, how long does it really take to sort of like, for it to sort of really settle in? Do you get real life experiences while you're doing the course?
Yeah.
How does it really work?
Around about week 4, people start to get takeoff. There's a couple of things in what you just mentioned. You're talking about, how do people use the training so they get the benefit and they don't get discouraged or they're failing. Because it's over 12 weeks and it's gradual, you're taking what you've learned and applying it immediately. That's the whole point. It's not like you do 2-day course and it finishes and that's it. You're taking 1 day a week over 12 weeks, so you're practicing it as you're doing it, and as you run into trouble, you've got an opportunity to ask questions about this and that, and you're also hearing other people's examples, because someone's got an issue with someone, and they've nominated, these are the principles I'm going to use, and then they do it, and they come back and they report, so you hear their reports. That worked for you, I see, I'll try that, or you did this and it didn't work because of this. When I do it, I won't do it that way because that didn't work. So that's very helpful. The other thing is, you are also doing a continuing follow-up for the course. So 4 times a year, you can come back and get a sort of recharge of the course so that you don't get that dropping off period. You actually recharge and keep the momentum going. And I think the thing there is the environment's very supportive too. So it's encouraging you to take risks and try things. And then you're not afraid to report failures, or you're not afraid to report what's happening. So I think that tends to be a little bit different to most courses. It tends to give you a practical instant usage, lots of coaching and lots of feedback. And the reading of the books is one thing. The problem with that is you read the book, but there's no explanation about how to use this. You have to work it out yourself, and there's no examples, there's no role plays, and there's no practice on how to actually try it. Because intellectually, this is the problem, you're all very smart people. Intellectually, you get it right to here. Sort of stops about here though, because it's got to get out of the head intellectually. It's got to get into your body. And I say that because we speak. That's a physical action of speech or body language. It's a physical manifestation of what we're thinking. And you've got to get this and this and this to match up in the right vein. So what you understand has got to become what you do. And that's why the practicality of it is very great. The instant from what you learn to use is very important. And the safe environment is very important. So sorry, Niels, I forgot to come back to you. You had a question before.
I'm not even sure if my question is directly now for what you presented tonight. But so I'm working a lot on the computer, behind the screen, and I'm good with people. Generally, I can talk to anybody in the street that I've never met before and can immediately be friends. But where I have problems with is when I have to do a presentation and bring a certain topic across. You have all kinds of people listening to the presentation. They all come from different backgrounds, and they all have a different understanding of that. And if I would have to stand right there where you are standing right now, I would be super nervous, probably breaking out in sweat. So it makes me really nervous when everybody is looking at me. So, but I'm doing almost on a daily basis. I'm doing activities, so I'm with people, and that is all fine. But if I'm at the front and everybody's just looking at me, that makes me super nervous. So how can I?
Yeah. This is very common.
How can I overcome that stage fright or whatever you want to call it, or how can I make my presentation style?
This is very, very common. And when I took the course myself, one of my classmates was a young lady from, I think it was either Ukraine or Russia. And she did a self-introduction at the beginning. And it went something like this. Hi, my name is Tanya. I'm from Russia. I'm working in Japan now for 2 years, and I'm doing, cosmetics business. And she was like that. About week 5 or 6, she was like this. The key thing I want to talk about is my experience, was the transformation was unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable. Because over that period of weeks, she'd been given chances to talk, given chances to report from the group, had to get up and give a presentation in a very safe environment where there was no criticism and people were encouraging her, and she was being coached in a way which encouraged her to step out of her comfort zone, take a risk, and then get a lot of positive feedback that we talk about here using the principles. And gradually her confidence started to build, and her voice tone changed, and her body language changed. And because of this repetition, over and over and over again, over the course of the 12 weeks, you do quite a lot of presenting. And at first, yes, it's very nerve-wracking for people, but around about, say, week 4 or 5, she started to change. And by the time we got to week 12, this is not the same person. It would be unrecognisable. If you'd come in week 1 and seen her, and you came back in week 12, you say, hey, whoa, hang on. What's going on here? Was that an actress before doing that on purpose? Can't be the same person. The transformation is that great because it's the environment, it's the instruction, it's the coaching, and it's the incremental growth, right? That's how it works. So yes, and you do change and you do improve and it gets easier. And as I said to you before, until I was in my 30s, I ran away from presenting. In fact, when I remember one of my very close friend, asked me to be the best man at his wedding. And I said no. I said, oh look, I was in my early 20s then. I said, I'm not really experienced enough. You should ask so-and-so. He's more experienced than me, he'd be better. The real reason was I didn't want to have to give a speech. I was terrified of having to get up at the wedding as the best man and say something. I wanted to sit there and drink and eat and relax and enjoy myself and not be sweating and my knees knocking, my heart pounding and feeling awful and stressed to give that speech. So I ran away from every single opportunity to speak for many, many decades. And I wish I'd had this training so much earlier. I could have polished my skill. So what you see today is a refugee from the fear of public speaking who finally worked out how to overcome that. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I guess I just almost taking the polar opposite of what Nils has said is, thinking about some of the managers in our company and sort of training with them is, some of them actually seem like they've probably got most of these 9 or that, and whether that's embedded in them and they're natural leaders or natural managers is questionable, but do you feel like it works for everybody, that somebody who's already got a lot of these skills or who's really successful or is doing well in the greater sense of sort of working with people, would you then say maybe you don't need this, or do you say it still gets something out of the course above and beyond? Maybe they're...
Yeah, I've taken the same course twice myself. I did it at the very beginning, and then I did it about 2 years ago. I redid the course. And the reason I say that is my responsibilities have changed. When I first took the course, I was working for a big corporate, right? I had a certain industry, a certain responsibility, and now I have my own company. I'm working for myself. It's different, and the requirements are different, and the stresses are different, and the challenges are different. So I need the power of this course, but I need it directed into new and different areas. So it may be, and this is the key, Tyler, is in the coaching. When we find people who are very, very confident up here speaking, the coaches will challenge them to do something they're not good at, to take them out on purpose, to take them out of their comfort zone to help them grow. Because, you know, if you're very confident and you're used to public speaking, you're right in your sweet spot, you're right in your comfort zone. That's nothing for you. Now, I'll give an extreme example, and it's a real one too. Very big macho, big macho guy, really powerful, a alpha male, take your pick, give the sort of descriptors, very powerful guy. And the coach, the trainer, asked him to present like he was a 5-year-old child. Present as if he was a 5-year-old child. Give his report as a 5-year-old child. Trust me, that took that person right out of their comfort zone. They had to completely change where they were powerful to do something different. So I'm just giving an extreme example where even though they are very good in one area, the coaching will look for areas where they can grow and become more flexible. And so that guy is very dominant, but probably doesn't know how to deal with people who are shy, people who are lacking in confidence. So his big, powerful voice, dominating people. This is how we're going to go. It's going to be great. Let's get there. Let's get out there. Let's win, win, win. Well, for some people, that's like they're getting sunburn. It's too much. They're getting sunburn from that person. What they need is, let's have a cup of tea. Let's get to know each other. The voice is not threatening. It's mild and it's soft. And we talk about the people. We don't talk about the numbers. We talk about how can we get everyone together to work together well as a great team and make it a really great atmosphere where everyone feels really empowered and motivated, and we come as a unit, and people really notice what a pleasant workplace it is, and they're happy to come to work every day. You hear the difference in my voice from the sort of rally before we go out on the field and play the match. That ability means I can switch. I can deal with someone who's not very confident and very powerful, but who's quite shy, smart, but a bit withdrawn, a bit introvert, and bring them out as a leader. And this is what I'm saying. The coaches are looking for those areas where you're not powerful and then help you to become powerful. So yes, I think it works for everybody. And also at different stages in your career. I think if you do the Dale Carnegie course, say in your 30s, in your 40s you have different needs. You've got completely different needs in your 40s, and in your 50s different needs, and in your 60s different needs. So the course itself, it's a shell. It's a shell and a structure that enables you to fill out the blanks according to where you are in your career, because your challenges will be different. There's the last question. Vincent.
Do you act?
As an actor?
Yeah, I was amazed at your Tanya impersonation. I was
By which impersonation?
Tanya.
Oh, Tanya. Oh, yes. No, I've never... Well, I think I was in a couple of plays at school when I was maybe in high school or something, primary school or something. But no, I've never been in acting. But I suppose as a trainer, you have to demonstrate extremes. You have to make things seem larger for impact. We have one particular course called High Impact Presentations, 2-day course. Kenneth, this is unbelievable course for presentation skills. And in that course, we're taking people who come in on 9 o'clock on day one, whose energy levels are about 25-30%, and we have to take those energy levels up to 100%. So as trainers, we're operating at 140, 150% of energy. And I never take my jacket off in that course, because I'm telling you, I'm drenched. And every day of that course, I lose 1 kilo of weight. I know, because I weigh myself every day. I drop a kilo every time, because the output of energy is enormous. So because I'm lifting the class to a very high level, So that means I have to exaggerate for effect different things, and I have to have also voice modulation, because I'm just powering away and bang, bang, bang with the same strength all the time. It wears people out. So I've got to have this tonal variation and gesture variation and energy variation to keep people's interest. So it may seem like I'm doing that, but all I'm doing with Tanya is I'm dropping my energy, I'm dropping my voice, as we would teach people in a presentation to have those highs and lows to keep the interest of the audience. And trust me, today, if you've got a mobile phone in the hand of anyone in your audience at a company meeting, a presentation, even a client meeting, it is a nightmare, because that mobile phone is the escape route to the world of the internet and everything that's out there that's a distraction. So as people who are in the business of giving reports or giving presentations or being persuasive, the facility of being able to communicate well is so much more important than it's ever been, because the competitors for the audience's attention are so much more powerful too. So if you're not doing something in your own presentation skills and you've got the opportunity, and I'm not telling you this because I'm Dale Carnegie, I'm not telling you this because I'm a graduate of the course, I'm not telling it to you because I teach the course, but the high impact presentations is by far the Rolls Royce of presentation skills. You do this 2 days, you will be astounded at the change. We video everything, we have 2 instructors, it is phenomenal. And you see the change, because at the end of day 2, in the last session, we show you video 1. And in video 1, we say Christian, you give presentations, you're an experienced guy, come on, give us your best, put it out there, Christian, nothing left on the table, you give us everything you've got, show us what you can do. And we put that pressure on him, because he's a confident guy, he's an experienced guy, we know he can take it, and we challenge him. So even someone who's highly experienced and competent and credible and comfortable presenting, even that person, day 2, last session, we go back, they do the last one, we film it, we show it to them, then we go back and we show them number 1. Even that person, and they all say it, every single person says it, oh my God, when they look at number 1, because in 2 days, they've gone from here to there, and they can physically see it. They've seen it over 2 days with each video they've reviewed, but at the end, the contrast is so massive, they're blown away of the growth, and they see it. Even the ones who are great. We've had people who are very skilled. Yeah.
How much is it? And are you only offering it to companies, or also you?
We run it as that particular high impact presentations. We run that as a public course, and we also do it in house. So that's high impact presentations is 235,000 yen for the 2 days. I say it's 2 instructors, everything's videoed. It's a very intense program. You're very busy, and you get lots of homework. Sorry?
Weekdays?
The public courses are on weekdays. We tend to do it on weekdays. But it is,
Totally.
I wish I'd done that course 40 years ago, in my 20s. I wish I'd done it in my 20s, because it just would have made such a difference to my career in terms of my ability to present myself, present my information, persuade people, get people to follow me. I mean, the ramifications of that skill set are enormous. As an employee in a company trying to go up the ladder, or as a business owner trying to grow the business. And particularly now, I represent the company, but we all represent the company. Because when you're giving a presentation report, we see you, and you're hopeless, we say, well, XYZ company, they're all total duds down there. This guy was hopeless, or she was hopeless, they aren't very good. But if you're good, we say, wow, they're all geniuses down there. They all must be like this. They're all, we judge the whole thing based on you, and that's the reality. We make that assumption. So what judgment do you want? You want to be someone who's like, wow, that was fantastic. That person's so credible and persuasive, and this is something. I mean, I just forget about Dale Carnegie. I just recommend it to you to get that facility, because that facility you will get is so powerful for you.
And that was very standalone then, that 2 days versus the other.
That's a standalone, because it's so focused on taking you to such a high level of persuasion power. Yeah, I
It's
answer.
not a question, but our meditation instructor, the guy who teaches at university,
Oh, yeah.
he attended the 2-day course, and he's a different man. But aside from everything physical, the tone, the way he talks, you never have him before. He's completely. I think he's just confident in his skin,
Yeah.
and it's that he knows. He knew he wasn't that great. He knew he had to become better. But just in those 2 days, he is just a totally different person.
Yeah. And the thing about that course, to one part which I should mention, I single it out because it's so valuable, is we do a section on how to deal with pressure situations. You're in the meeting, you're making your report, presentation, recommendation, and a colleague, who's actually a rival, hits you with a question. It's not really a question. It's a nuclear harpoon to make you look bad, right? Or it's a senior management board member or executive who hits you with a really hard question. Or you're giving a presentation and someone from the union hits you with a hard question about people being sacked. Or it could be a public speech and someone disagrees with your viewpoint and becomes very aggressive. And I've been in companies where that's happened. People have been very aggressive, very nasty. They're doing it for a purpose. They're trying to show you up. They're trying to make you look bad. They're trying to push you down. There's one section we deal with Q&A. And I'm telling you right now, after you learn this, you will never ever fear Q&A again. Because generally you prepare your talk, you're in control. As soon as you say Q&A, you're out of control. Because you don't know what the audience is going to say, you don't know where they're going to go with this, you don't know how they're going to come at you. And if they're very aggressive, it can be very shocking. Once you learn this, you are bulletproof. And I mean that, you are bulletproof. No matter what they throw at you, you will just deal with it in such a way that's so professional. And every other single person in that audience is looking at you going, wow, I'm glad I didn't get that question because I know what would happen to me. But you, oh wow, they handle that so professionally. How could they do that? If that had been me, I would have been killed. I would have been decimated. I would have been destroyed. I would have been mincemeat. And you just handle it. And people just go, wow. That part alone in business, wow. It's so valuable. So, I mention that because you have no fear. And the point is, you are never out of control in your presentation after you learn that. Never. You're in control all the time. So valuable. So please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take advantage of that.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Enjoy your golden books and thank you. Hope to see you again.
Oh,